coincidence. So what? Obviously, we can't play in our home kit. We can't play in the famous lily white shirts. So it looks like we're playing in, as Sam likes to call, the penile away shirt. So why don't you tell us what you think about the new away kit there?
Oh my God.
Sam.
Well, look, okay. I
know
am.
you don't like it.
I'm a bit of a fuddy-duddy when it comes to kits. I'm going to employ the Jeff Mache rule, which is I'm sort of a purist. I just think simple is better, and tarting up kits to the degree that these kit manufacturers do is it's comical at times, and I understand that they need to try and be creative, but the stretches that we make with these shirts to the club just seem to be even greater as each shirt comes out. And the home kit, I like from just a pure fashion perspective. I don't think it. I mean, okay, the bars above, the roof of the club. Okay, fine, but I don't even know what the bars mean. I would think that most Spurs fans don't either. But it's a link. But what's the link here? Like I can only think of so many sky blue away kits. But the whole thing with the arrow up, which has a bit of a mushroom shape on the top of it, I have to admit. I mean, what's all that about?
Only you, man.
Oh, come on!
And I've never seen a whale's penis.
How does that make
why
you?
You made that reference?
How does that make you? How does that make you feel attached to Tottenham? How does it? It doesn't. The first thing it made me feel like was like a West Ham shirt. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I'm just praying for the third purple kit. That purple kit, I think it's the one. I really do, because nobody's come out.
The same source that put out the blue shirt put out the purple one, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's.
Look, I'd be fine with the away shirt just being one of those colors and leaving it at that. But the whole, I mean,
listen,
it's a phallic trident.
If you've never done it before, this may be the year to go out and buy the keeper kit, because that forest green keeper kit is the bomb.
There's a yellow one. There's the yellow away.
The yellow one looks good too, but that green
the yellow kit last year, it was cool looking too.
Yeah, I like the green one.
I don't know. I just feel like that you should have an affinity. There should be some association. And if it's just plain lily white, I think a 61.
Yeah. Well, if Nike buys us one day, that kit right anyway, wouldn't it be nice? First kit out of the bag, straight white.
Yeah, everybody's always like, whoa,
Nike logo on the one side, cockerel on the other, and then whatever, if it's still AIA right in the middle of the shirt, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Nike's a pretty tidy kit maker. I wouldn't have any problems being Nike. Y'all know I like golf, and I did get a chuckle this weekend because I was watching Stuart Sink in the British Open, and he was wearing a white hat with JVC on it, and I didn't even know that JVC was even still alive. So they sponsor Stuart Sink on the tour, and I was like, oh, what a cunt. It's like I was just thinking of Arsenal. I was thinking of old JVC shirts. Sorry. Anyway. I'm not a big fan of it. I can live with the home shirt because there is some connection to the club, but the second one to me is just...
I like the color.
I heard it looks good on the players there. Everybody says it looks good on the players. Yeah. Look, I don't give a shit. Let me be very clear. If we win, we could wear...
It does look good. It does look good on the players.
Yeah.
I don't care what we wear, as long as we're winning at the end of the day. But if we're not losing, it's just one more thing. If we're not winning,
listen. If you want to go hate a kit, go look up Preston North End's new kit. Oh my God, awful, absolutely blinding. I think it's their road kit. It's like lemon yellow with a blue, almost like a plank on the front of their shirt, and whatever their sponsor is has a rainbow in it, and the rainbow goes across the chest. It is the most sickening thing I have ever seen in a football kit. It is terrible.
Oh my God, like that hoop thing?
Yeah, just go look it up. Google it. Preston North End's new
kit. It's the away kit, right?
I think it's the away kit. It is awful. If you guys get a chance, go take a look. It's terrible. Simon, you got anything else?
Oh, it does have a rainbow.
It does have a rainbow.
Well, I guess I will be. I'll be parting with $90 next week and getting the away kit because
I'll probably be asking.
I haven't figured out. Yeah. Anyway, what have we got left to cover, guys? We've.
Oh gosh, I could do this forever. I'm glad we're back, boys. I am. Can we do this again next week?
No.
Oh,
after you write, I'll tell you what. Let's do this though.
Yeah.
The next one we do is going to be post United. It's 3 weeks away, something like that. 4
My God, is it really?
Yeah, it's 3 weeks away. Predictions for the game. Why not?
We're going to get
Let's
killed.
do this.
That's a good point.
Predictions for the game. Prediction for the season. Where are we going to finish?
And then we have to remember that as the season goes on, when we keep changing our mind each week.
I'll pull the report.
Refer back to this.
Yeah. Sammy, you go first, man. Prediction for United and then prediction for the season. Where are we going to finish?
God, I don't want to be forced to make a big call like before the season even started, but the safe call is 5th. I will probably go with that. Of the top 4, to me, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. What's the one team that spot's up for grabs? And I think it's City. So I said,
they just signed Delph. What a quality player.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that Sterling fella, 49 million quid.
So Ken, when you question, well, why do people make up these stories about a guy like Hugo Lloris?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a Delph, right, a guy that puts out a full-page ad in the Birmingham paper saying, "I love this club, can't wait to captain it, feeling like it's not, unlike anything else, blah blah blah." And then 2 weeks later, he's like, "Oh, sorry, I think I'm going to go down to City," But I tell you what, I think what happened there is I think he agreed to stay at the club. And I think he came back. I think he went to Spain or Portugal where they were training. I think Dim had a go at him, and I think the club promised him that they were still going to have aspirations, and they went and sold Benteke, and he said, "The hell with this." And so I don't know. I guess in this day and age where money just controls everything, it's very, very hard to get attached to players, and it's very, very hard to fault players or have a go at players when you don't really know the full story.
Oh, and once again, it's one of these things. It's just like Wilfred Boney going there last year. We went from Swansea's number 1 and pouring goals in 15, 16, 17 the season to being the 4th striker on that team. And I think Delph just dug himself the same hole. Maybe these guys are content just riding the bench and making $80,000 a week.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, I remember Mickey Hazard saying he was talking about being shifted off to Chelsea and how absolutely crushed he was, but then he got a £100,000 check, and in fairness to Mickey, I mean, nobody ever questioned his love for the club, but a £100,000 check when you're trying to take care of your family is nothing to be sneezed at. And I think sat here and said to myself, well, I can play for a club that stands a chance to be relegated next year, or I can go get a gigantic pay raise, traipse around Europe in the Champions League, and sit on the bench and probably, I mean, think about it. The contract that he has, he probably guarantees himself that money for the next 5 or 6 years, whether it's City or somewhere else.
Yeah, whatever. You got a prediction for United? What do you think?
I think we get slaughtered.
Okay.
Oh.
Simon?
Schweinsteiger.
Hang on. Define slaughtered.
We're going to
lose 4-0.
3-1. Might get a goal.
That was the score.
That's not being slaughtered. No, it was 3-0 last time, all in the first half.
I think we're going to pull a point out of United. I think we'll come out pretty solid. I don't think that they're going to be as cohesive, with all the new players, just like they always struggle at the beginning of the year.
It's unfair to ask this question now. We don't even know what our team's going to look like.
We don't even have an opportunity to do it, though.
We'll have a podcast right before. I'm sorry, I was shameless.
Terrible.
1-1.
All right.
So what, 1-1?
1-1
I'd go 2-2.
4th. We're getting top 4. 1-1 and 4th.
Daydream,
I'm half cup full, half cup empty. I know that's a up to pessimist. So I agree with Ken. I think we can get something. I'd rather play United away this early, although I do believe
that's a good point.
If you cast your mind back to 11-12 season when we had the Everton game postponed and we had to play both Manc teams in what was technically our first 2 games of the season, and I think we lost 3-0 at United and 5-1 at home to City in our first 2 games, and then obviously we went on that huge run and had whispers of winning the league, or at least being champion contenders. But I would rather play United early on. I think the way we have trained and that we have not added as many players as United has, and they're a mess. They were a mess last season.
Yep.
They did all right towards the end, but I still think they're in transition. It'll probably take them a few games to gel. This is the best time to play them, and I think I'm going to go for 2-2. I don't think we'll win, and I'd like to think that we would not be on the end of a drubbing, but I'd like to go 2-2. Even with our new defence, getting a point at United is great. I know we got those back-to-back wins for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. And then I think I'm going to go. I have to go with 6. Liverpool scare me. They have splashed the cash. I don't think they're going to do a Liverpool doing a Tottenham for a second season in a row. I think they've probably done a little better, although what's his name? Flamini?
Flamini.
Someone talked about, well, who's the new Paulinho? I said, well, they just signed him. So he had a horrible Copa, and they paid stupid money for him, and I think he's going to be a complete flop. But if they get Benteke with that Sterling money, that's a decent team. That's a decent team.
No question.
And I'd be a little concerned about us trying to challenge the top 4 with them in the mix. I agree, City haven't really done a lot. Arsenal probably don't need to. Chelsea probably don't need to as well. So I think it's going to be hard for us, unless something happens in the next few weeks and we pull some rabbits out of our hat. If we do get Hernandez and Berahino, and we get that missing link in the midfield, then we need to redo these predictions probably by the end. By the end of
social media is for.
We'll have to look back and say, yeah. So
I will say this though, a theme that Ken had all year last year was he said, look, Rodgers really had a hard time betting in so many new players. I mean, he's going to be faced with that to a degree again this year. I don't know. There's so much pressure in that job. I don't know whether they'll be contenders or not.
And maybe that's not a bad thing. That we're doing kind of the minimalist thing and just keeping our young team as they are and trying to fill in the gaps. We'll see if whatever happens. Are we done? Who knows if we're done? I would love to get a commanding right-footed center defensive midfielder, if that be McCarthy or someone along that type of player. Great. It's not that I don't like Mason. I just don't know that having Mason and Bentaleb, I thought they worked well together at times. I also thought they were atrocious together at times. And I don't, of the two, I don't think Mason covers as well and loses out on some of his responsibilities a little more than Bentaleb does. And I think Bentaleb's more versatile. He showed that when he moved to left back at the end of the year and played outstanding in that position. I just don't know if Ryan's the answer. And I wouldn't mind having someone be able to come in and say, this is my spot. And what does that mean for Mason? He's 24 years old. He's not, and I think he turns 25 early this year. So age is creeping up with him for someone who just played their first Premier League season. It's not like he was 18 or 19 years old last year. I don't know. It's just
Nabil's going to have a big. He's going to feature.
I think he's going to have.
Going to be given the reins will be dropped for him this year. I think.
I might have to get a Bentaleb jersey this year. We'll see. Kit. Sorry. Use the jersey word.
Well, gentlemen,
let's do this.
Wow, what a divine 90 minutes that was.
I just want to sum up a couple of things. We didn't talk about the Fanatics deals, another stroke of genius, if you want to call it that, by Levy. I don't really know much about them, although it's, again, good brand awareness for us over in the US.
Oh, is this that marketing?
Yeah, they're the largest sports apparel company.
Yeah, you'll start seeing Spurs shirts and Dick's Goods.
Fan apparel.
Yeah. You'll start seeing Spurs jerseys alongside United jerseys now. Finally,
like the away kit that was on some rack in Foxborough last Tuesday.
Isn't that crazy?
We didn't mention that.
It was first in Malaysia.
Well, true. It was on the Lady Boy. And you know what? You're never going to keep these leaks from happening because they have smartphones and they see this stuff and they're going to post it and. Yeah, they may get fired for it because they're in the picture, but then it's out there and people start the rumors. And I'm sure if we were looking up rumored leaks of other kits of other clubs, that's out there too. And it just makes it such a big headache for the clubs. And
only hour a week.
And I had heard that whoever put that shirt out on that rack in that shop in Foxborough, it created an absolute shitstorm with the club and with Under Armour. And that launched that following Friday so quickly, being announced the next day to be launched the following Friday, 2 days ago. That was not supposed to happen then. I heard it was supposed to happen right before the All-Star game to really generate the interest as to what the club would be wearing during the game. So they moved it up to save themselves the black eye. And I think that's probably obvious to all and sundry that was out there following that saga. But that was the final piece of business. I know our listeners have been hanging out for us to come back on air